Yeah, what's going on, family? It's your man B Miles once again coming to you live with another live stream. I actually want to wait for some of y'all to actually come up in the stream right about now before I actually go in on the video, but I'm quite sure, when you check out the title and all that, it's going to be self-explanatory, and I want y'all to check it out. What's going on? I see somebody in there right now, six of y'all. All right, I see y'all coming in. No, it's a little dark in the room. It's the fact I'm just got a different lighting and stuff like that. But like I said, what's going on, y'all? Just want to see some of y'all. See 13 of y'all up in here right now, and I actually want to talk about this opioid crisis that's going on. What's going on, Miss Red? I see you right there. What's going on? B Mouse once again had to come to y'all back. I'm saying with another video. What's going on, Miss Tamika? ATL is in the building. Renee, what's going on, Antoinette? What's going on, Mr. DC? What's going on? Got DC in the building. What's going on, Sade Wilson? I see you right there. All right. All right, we got the DMVs in the building, the ATL. I'm seeing y'all right now. All up in this live stream once again. And I want to come to y'all again. I'm saying I actually want to talk about what's going on, Greg. What's going on? Just want to see some more y'all come up in here. I'm quite sure we're going to have some of y'all be talking about, what's going on. What's going on, Irene Righteousness? I see you right there once again. All right. All right, y'all coming up in here real deep right now that I'm loving it. And I actually want to start off, I'm saying, all right, okay, yup. This opioid crisis right about now, I'm saying, it is killing them. And I'm actually going to talk about why I don't have any sympathy and why we should not have any sympathy for none of these devils. Because what's going on, Trent? And the reason why I'm saying we should not have any sympathy for these people because, see, when it came down to it back in the day, I'm saying, wow, you work as a medical courier, and you've been delivering pain drugs for cancer. Wow, ain't that something? And the part of the reason why I say we should not have any, what's going on, Kenny Bean? The reason why I say we should not have any sympathy for this opioid crisis because these motherfuckers are hypocrites. And one of the reasons why I call them hypocrites because all of a sudden now, man, when I'm checking out articles, man, it is to the point where now they can't even hide the fact anymore that their people are really dying out in record numbers from this thing. And I actually saw something from my girl Lisa Cabrera's channel, and I actually seen something. They were saying that the reason why now it is a crisis, it is because it's killing white Americans. And former Governor Christie, he was saying that the reason he was saying that our people are dying. See, we got to start looking at the code of language when they saying our people are dying. When they said our people are dying, they not talking about us. They talk about themselves. That is what I want. That is what I want y'all to understand something. And see, see part of the reason why I don't have any the reason why I don't have any sympathy for these Caucasoid devils because when it came down to it back in the day, what were they telling us? They were telling us, just say no. They were telling us, it's a moral issue. They were telling us we gotta pull ourselves by our bootstraps and we gotta get out of the problem. Now all of a sudden, hold up. What was some more terms that they coined? Oh, it's a war on drugs. They were calling up people crack babies. There was no type of health treatment. There was no type of like health centers. What's going on, True Royal Family? And what else, man? They were talking about. All right, somebody saying it's not just whites. It's killing all demographics. I'm not sure if it's hitting the Latino community, I'm saying, the hardest right about now. No, it is killing the white demographic at an alarming rate. That's why they calling it right about now a public health crisis. You feel me? And right, what were they saying? This is your brain on drugs. They were coming up with all different kinds of commercials and all that. What's going on, Jamal Bay? They were coming up with all different kinds of ways and means that, to like lock us up, throw away the key. They was coming up with all of these draconian laws, all of these Rockefeller laws and all that. And there was a sister up there in New York. She was actually, what's going on? Yeah, I see you right there. Yup. Exactly. Yup. It is hitting whites by like tens and thousands of them. And see, Back in the day when the open, you know what I mean, when the heroin came in the 70s, and when the crack came in the 80s and the 90s and all that, along with the cocaine and all that, they was it was all about lock us all up, throw away the key. Now these motherfuckers want to be going around here talking about you can't arrest your way out of a problem. Also, now you want to be saying you can't arrest your way out of a problem, and now you want to take a gentler approach because it is affecting your children, it is affecting your aunts, it is affecting your uncles, and it's literally decimating. It's literally exactly right. Some Ron James said the opioid suicide deaths is white on white crime, and mind you, crime is going up in their community as well. They drinking themselves to death right about now. The suicide rate is at an all-time high. And see, it did not become a problem when it was in our community, but see, it became a problem when it started to affect their communities. And I remember the time, if you look at the movie Boys in the Hood, they was actually breaking this thing down. He was saying drugs wasn't a problem when it was in our community, but it became a problem when it started to show up in Iowa and Wall Street. What's going on, Elder Rasan, Shakur? What's going on? It's one of my favorite brothers right there. You know what I'm saying? And like I said, man, and see, all of a sudden now, what we are seeing how the we are seeing the hypocrisy is literally coming out. We're seeing how the whole war on drugs is pretty much now it is literally shown the hypocrisy and it's really had dismantled the whole argument talking about it's a war on drugs. Now all of a sudden, they can't really talk about black on black crime statistics because if you look at the statistics of these people on the opioids and the heroin epidemic and all of these drugs and all that, these motherfuckers are being decimated at an alarming rate. I'm talking about the last time I checked, Doug Christie said it's 175 people, which means it's them. What's going on, Strictly Hip Hop? My fault, man. My fault. I'm shouting on everybody. Come on now, bro. Oh, Russ saying opioid has been really bad since Nixon era. No, heroin and crack cocaine has been really, really bad. You feel me? When it came down to us. But see what I'm saying, it wasn't a problem when it was affecting us. Because see, back in the day, when they flooded all of these drugs in the town communities back in the day, it wasn't a problem. It wasn't a problem because it was affecting us because under Nixon and Oliver North and all that, it was already exposed, even by this white author of this guy named Gary Webb, who exposed that, who literally exposed this thing, back in the day, talking about the CIA along with the conscious and all that, how the CIA literally flooded the whole entire community, in particular the quote unquote black community, with crack and I'm sorry, but crack cocaine back in the day. Exactly right. Exactly. Now they saying we can arrest ourselves out of the problem, but they weren't saying none of this shit back in the day. Yep, yep. The judicial system is giving them like rehabilitation treatments of the jail time. See how hypocritical this shit is. See how hypocritical these goddamn caucasoids are. They are so fucking hypocritical when it come down to this thing. You see, back in the day, they were coming up with all different kinds of laws, and even also when it came down to Hillary Clinton with the Clinton administration, what were they calling us? Super predators and all that, man. They were some talking about, these are the type of ones that need to be locked up and all that. They were decimating our communities and all this other stuff, and and see what we're seeing now. Karma has literally come back to haunt these people. Yup. Yup. Yeah, exactly. They talking about it at at Penny's daughter's school, talking about they trying to make sure their kids are okay. You feel me? They want to make sure that their kids are going to be okay. And that's part of the reason why you're seeing them calling in a public health crisis. See, back in the day, it was a war on drugs. Now, all of a sudden, it's affecting them. Now, they want to call it a national emergency and the public health crisis. And it's even to the point where right about now, the Clintons want to be apologizing. Exactly. Yup. When it came down to the three-strike law, they were putting addicts in. They were putting the addicts and the dealers in prison for years of breaking up black homes. Exactly. So this is their karma. Damn, my friend, you have to get certified in Narcan. Wow, look at that. Yup, they setting up opioid and Narcan sites for them and all that as well. But like I said, this is their karma. This is their karma for what the fuck they did, and that is exactly why I say when I say I have no type of sympathy at all for none of these daggone devils. Because see, they knew what the fuck they were doing when it came down to it, when it was in our community. Now you expecting us to feel sorry for you? Now you expecting me to feel sorry for you? Now, and as a matter of fact, I'm talking about in Maryland. I think there's almost up to like over 500 overdoses. I believe in particular in one particular county. Exactly, Kimberly, right. We haven't seen anything yet, and I'm telling you right about now, this thing is not slowing down by a long shot. It is not going to be slowing down, and if you ask me, I see this thing getting worse and worse. And I was actually checking on something. They actually got an article. They was asking the question, why is the opioid epidemic is so it's overwhelmingly white? Don't you know they said over there in Ohio, they literally are running out of space for dead bodies because the coroners keep having people, I'm talking about white people, keep overdosing off of this stuff like crazy. Yup, let the bodies hit the floor. Yup, they now killing each other. And if you ask me, like I told you before, I feel nothing. I don't feel shit. I don't feel no fucking sympathy. Because if you look at the movie called The Godfather, that's right, yeah. The world would never have no peace until all these devils are gone. That's right, Elder Rasan Shakur. Yup. The world would not have any type of peace until they off the planet. And that is exactly why I feel that the ancestors in the universe is literally decimate these people right off of the planet because these Caucasoid devils gotta go. Yep, Ohio is really, really bad right about now. And if you ask me, who cares? If you ask me, I don't. They said one of the doctors he literally resigned because he was so overwhelmed. But the question would be is, was he overwhelmed when it came down to us? Seeing our bodies up in the hospital, but they saying, but they, I wasn't hearing them talking about they was being overwhelmed, seeing all of those black bodies being dropped in the street, but we was out there killing each other in record numbers when it came down to it. When it came down to black on black crime, dealing with the whole entire, crack epidemic. I didn't hear none of them saying none of that shit. But of course, now it's white bodies. Now it's Caucasian bodies filling up the coroners all over the place. Now they are feeling some sort of way now. Yep. And they don't even have enough young people to replace the population. So you already know them. You already know this right here is all divine. It's karma. The sins of the mothers and the fathers has now come back to haunt their children. And if you ask me, don't pray for them. Don't have no sympathy for them. These are the same motherfuckers who were actually, what I'm saying, like man, I'm telling you, like I tell you all the time, this is their karma. It's the inevitable. And you're right. You're right, Penny. And that's a part of their plan to exterminate us, but it's backfiring. It is all a part of the natural selection. It is a part of natural selection, and it's all about and it's all about the universe paying these people back. Yup. They were so worried about black people would sell them. Yup. Well, Kimberly, there's an opioid crisis that is going on in white society right about now. And, the reason why they're talking about, this opioid crisis because it's affected white society at an alarming rate. That's what we are talking about. I hate to say it, but I mean, matter of fact, and it's not about me hate to say it, but it is what it is. But it's affecting them at an alarming rate, and again, and they just can't see why it's affecting them. Now they want to be out there suing the whole entire pharmaceutical companies, talking about they were over prescribing drugs over there. They were over prescribing, drugs over there. I'm saying to white patients, but when it came down to us, they were they were under prescribing to us. But see, back in the day, they actually like literally said, black people didn't feel any type of pain. So by that whole type of racist mindset, by them actually, feel as though that we don't feel any pain, then racism has literally came back to bite them. Yep. So the whole entire narrative of black people not feeling any pain has came back to backfire. 66,000. Yup. Somebody just said, Rick said 66,000 dead last year in an area, more than shooters and car crashes put together. That's crazy. And they said they on. As a matter of fact, I believe it might have been 59,000, close to 66,000. Yep. So you already know. You already know that these people are losing their power right now. And it's even to the point where their population can't even replace itself, and their population can't even return to the workforce because they are so hot off the opioids and also with the heroin and also with the fentanyl and that carfentanil. Yep. We are literally watching in real time the fall of Western civilization. Yeah, you're right, Antoinette. Richard Spencer said, "You will not replace us." Looks like it's already happening. We are watching them, literally lose their minds that they unraveling on themselves. They are literally unraveling on themselves. Yup, it's affecting North Suburban Atlanta like crazy. And these are young folks, 17 years old and up, and they dropping like flies. And like I said all the time, I'm talking about, I was just saying to myself, like, I was actually, you know what I mean, just like going through like the internet one time, right? As a matter of fact, I was on YouTube and I would just actually like what I mean, checking out videos and they would talk about heroin, the new face of addiction. I'm like, what do they mean the new face of addiction? So all of a sudden, I started to check out all of these channels and I started to see like all of these heroin abusers are white. And I'm looking at it like, hold up a minute. And I'm like, hold up. So how come y'all so it's like how come y'all are so hooked on drugs so much? And now they call it the face of addiction. Now even the police I'm talking about, they saying that they coming with a different approach. They want to help the victims. Why? Because why? Because they looking at a younger generation that is dying out. That that they want to make sure that they can maintain and hold on to like the white power structure. But it really goes to show you the white power structure is crumbling because they are dying out. I'm talking about between the ages of 15 and 24. Young white millennials are overdosing off of heroin. And at Queens Forever, I said the same thing. Ever since the FBI put out the whole black identity extremists, it seems like it seems like everything that they put out against us is always come back to bite them. Ever since that we have seen they put out black identity extremists, we have been seeing mass shooting after mass shooting after mass shooting, even when it came, you know what I mean? And I'm talking about it's white men. It's crazy. Yup, the police don't even arrest the white addicts. Yep. You ain't never lying, Kimberly. Yep, the top rail is moving to the bottom, and the bottom rail moving to the top. Yep, yeah, yeah, that's right, Elder Rasan. Yep, the sun will kill them, the drugs will kill them, and they can't take no more babies. Yep. We are literally watching. We are literally watching, you know what I'm saying, like the fall of Western civilization. It's crazy what we're seeing. We are really at the beginning. We are really at the, you know what I'm saying, we are at the beginning, at the end times. And we are definitely seeing, these people right about now, man. You know what I'm saying? Like white society, they are really losing their minds as we speak. And I'm telling you, like I told you on one of my videos, in white America in the five plagues of death, this is one of them. This is one of them. See, all the things that they have done is come back to bite them. And like I said, that's part of the reason why I say I have no sympathy for them. And people might say, well, you should have sympathy. And I ask the question, why? Why should we? When these were the same people telling us, pull yourself by your bootstraps. These were the same people, what's going on, melanation, yup. These were the same people, that didn't have any sympathy. Yeah, melanation, we talking about this current opioid plague. And as a matter of fact, that's exactly right. It's an opioid plague. The beginning, yo, I don't got no sympathy for that damn doctor anyway. I mean, literally, man, I'm talking about like, I mean, man, I'm telling you, man, when you look at the statistics, and I'm gonna tell you this one thing, man, we gotta keep a heads up on. I bet you any amount of money, I will bet you any amount of money that they will try to find a way to put the blame on us talking about they were going to the inner city to get their drugs. Now, first of all, who the hell you think was telling them the goddamn stories about where the drugs was? I'm telling them where the drugs was. It was their parents. It was their aunts, it was their uncles, their uncles, their brothers, their cousins. Their grandfathers. The grandfather could be a judge, the father could be a cop. The son, he could be. I'm gonna say the brother could probably be a cop. Another brother could be a police chief. Another one works as a fireman and all that. And then of course right, yeah, man. And then of course what I mean. The daughter might be a state's attorney. The other one might be a lawyer. So when they having all of these daggone, round table, what I'm saying, round table discussions, what do you think they talking about? They talk about maintaining the order of white supremacy and all that. But see, what we looking at right now, we looking at white supremacy, man. It is unraveling. And like I told y'all, this opioid epidemic is one of them. And I'm telling you, it's one of the biggest plagues. Now they saying the opioid crisis is the worst in U.S. history. Oh, now it's the worst in history. Now it's the worst epidemic in U.S. history. You hear that shit? Yup, the military is guarded opioid. So their own racism is killing them. Mm-mm-mm. You serious? The beginning he said they accepted mentally ill into the military. Wow. Wow. I mean, yeah, man, it's like, they want to talk about, all of this daggone black on black crime. But I say to myself, y'all so focused on us all the time, man, to the point where they forget to take a look at their own goddamn problems. And that is major. And their birth rate is already at an all-time low. They can't reproduce right about now. Literally. You feel me? I'm talking about this thing is literally, man, like it's real. And you're right, Tari. Yup, that time is over. Hey, what's up, Simone? You said why now? Because it's the universe. The universe right now is just at work, and the time that we living in, we are looking at a time right now where the people in power they're losing power, and their time is up, and the universe is at work. It's called the natural selection. This is real. They are desperate right now that they are trying to find any little way, shape, or form, to save them. Yeah, you're right, Queens Forever. White on white crime is on TV all day. Watch the ID channel, and you ain't never lying. Yup, they are a disease being purged, and the universe is eradicating these people from the planet. I'm telling you, man, like even when I was checking out Drugs Inc. on National Geographic, all of the victims I saw up on it, I'm talking about they were all Caucasian. I'm like, hold up. I'm like, you serious? I'm telling you, if you look at the ID channel and National Geographic, it's like, wow. It's like, are you kidding me? This opioid crisis is not slowing down, and it's really affecting them. This thing is real. Yep, you're right, David. We did not bring none of this stuff here. Excuse me, I'm sorry. Yeah, exactly, Kim. I mean, it's inevitable. I mean, no disrespect, man, but the tables have turned. The tables have turned. The tables have turned, and now what we are seeing, we are literally seeing like the undoing of the civilization. And to those of us who woke up on this broadcast and all that, we see it. Cause like I said, man, when it came down to like Nixon, Bush, Reagan, and them, and all these other presidents, man, they never had our best interests. Yup, you ain't never lying, Antoinette. Yup. And this opioid crisis, man, I'm telling you, like, all they gotta do is just like look at it. And there was also an article that I read. I checked my girl Lisa Cabrera channel. She was also showing how they were saying that somebody wrote an article saying that it had it wasn't a crisis till all the victims became white. No, Kimberly, no, we're not saying that. No, what I'm saying is, it's just, I mean, it's cool. I mean, like I said, I mean, if you understand, Kim, what's going on, then that's fine. But if you take a look at all of the atrocities of what has been done, by your people towards my people and all that, the universe is going to pay that back. The universe is going to pay your people back. So what we're seeing right about now, no, exactly, Brandon, right. So what we're saying is though, right, it's not, I mean, it's not saying that we don't like you. We don't like white supremacy. We don't like white privilege. We don't like white domination. That's what we're saying. Exactly right now, right. And as a matter of fact, we like karma because, you know, because we just get sick and tired of we get sick and tired of keep seeing white supremacy keep on being pressed upon us and all that, and we got to keep on fighting this thing over and over and over again, and we keep on going up and down the day going we keep on going through the same thing. So we don't hate you, we don't hate white people at all, no, but we just know that there's a divine order in the universe. There's a divine order in the universe. And like I said, some of y'all do understand, but the majority of your people, they do not understand. You know, and that's why we and that's why we say these are some of the plays that are coming back because all of the atrocities of what was being done towards us is now come back to pay them. We just don't like the ugly ways, and what we're seeing right now, we're seeing how the universe is paying it back. And like Kimberly said, it's divine intervention, and that is real. It's all divine. This thing is, you reap what you sow. So the sins of the mothers and the fathers has now come back to haunt the children. This is much more bigger than you, Kimberly. This is all prophecy. This is all prophecy, and all of these things are happening right now. Yup, the sins of your fathers. Yup, it's law. We're not trying to make you feel guilty, but that's why a lot of us in my community, we don't feel any sympathy for a lot of your people because when it came down to us dealing with these things, we just kept on seeing no type of sympathy at all. We just kept on seeing all of this evil and hatred and wickedness being done, and white folks, they never really came past, and they never like, you know, really like I'm trying to like diminish the system and destroy the system of white supremacy. So what's being set up right now is that the universe has got the universe is paying your people back. And you're right, Nicole. Yup, number is pulling closer to this atmosphere and it's heating up the planet. Oh boy, Walter White. This sound like a troll. I'll see what this guy's about, but we're not gonna pay this guy any mind. You know, it's just it's just crazy. Now they want to be changing the bias now when it comes down to like the opioid crisis, and now they want to be changing, laws and all that. They haven't launched a war on drugs. No, none of that. These are the things. That's the reason why we're angry. No, Walter White. Nobody asked you to come here and troll and see what you have to say. But I'm gonna tell you one thing: the universe owes you something, Walter White, and your people something. This is this is divine karma. Nope, it ain't selective hearing. But I'm gonna tell you one thing, Walter White. Yeah, I'm gonna block this guy. Give me 1 second, y'all. Yeah, this clown in here is trolling. Yeah, North Carolina is a very racist state. All right, all right, y'all. He's been blocked. Yeah, he's been blocked. So now what we're saying, so now what we're saying, it's just what this epidemic is doing right about now, man. It's the ancestors at work right now. And what we're saying, you know, um, what we're saying right now, man, it's the universe paying white America back right now. America's being judged, and now that's something, that has affected us, and by the whole, 600, you know, this is what's going on, we are seeing how the universe is paying them back because of all the atrocities that they have done, and now they're feeling the same pain of what we have felt when it came down to the drug epidemic, when it came down to like the Horn Tiger School, the prison pop line. They are feeling the pain about, of what it is, of when you lose someone, that you love to something that can actually kill you. And mind you, you're taking this thing every single day. And anytime that's going to be coming from like the government up top, and they don't even care, man, you best believe, man, it's definitely got to be some sort of conspiracy. Excuse me, I'm sorry. I'm just reading your comments right now. Oh boy, got another troll. All right, he's been blocked. All right, he's been blocked. He said, "What's saving the race?" Hey, Ferguson Factor 710, what's going on? Yeah, Kimberly asks, like, what's saving the race? I'm gonna tell you, well, I'm gonna say self preservation will save you, but when it comes down to like, divine, when it comes down to like divine karma, it's you can't be saved from that. No matter how no matter how much you may try and all that, but you cannot stop the judgment of God. You cannot stop when God's gonna bring what He's gonna bring. And when the Most High and the ancestors, man, when they start putting in that work, it is what it is. All right, y'all. Kimberly has been blocked. Yeah, I was starting to feel the same thing. I blocked the Queen's Forever. I blocked her. Yeah. I believe she might be following my channel, but a lot of times you gotta be careful with them. So she's been blocked. Yeah, Ferguson Factor. She's still coming here, but she been blocked down. So, oh boy, man, it's a lot of trolls in tonight. But I'm blocking them. Nah, we don't got time for that. Yup, but like I said, man, she's asking me questions about, what it's about what is saving the race and all that. But I'm gonna tell you one thing, there's nothing, there's nothing that can be done. There's nothing that that can be done when it comes to like saving these group of people because these people, these Caucasoid devils and all that, man, they are being eradicated from the planet with this opioid epidemic. And especially with the heroin, but like I told you all the time, and we don't feel anything. We don't feel anything for what the fuck is being done to them. Nothing. Why should we? Why the hell should we feel sorry for people who never show any sympathy for us? I'm not praying for them. I'm not forgiving them. They can take as much opioids as they want. They can shoot up. They can shoot up as much heroin as they want. I don't care, because to me it's not our problem. It is not our problem, and I don't feel nothing. Like I said, what Ferguson Factor said, we are the I feel nothing crew. They are getting what they deserve, and it is what it is. So I don't want to hear nothing about, well, I'm not racist, I got black friends, or, yada, yada, yada. I don't care nothing about that. Yep, it is their turn. Yep, it is their turn. And now they got to deal with this. And I say when I say they got to pull themselves by their bootstraps and get out of the problem. The same fucking thing they were the same fucking thing that they were telling us. They got to do the same thing. Like I told you, I don't feel shit for them. Yup, it's a wonderful time we living in, just watching them just crumble the way they are. Yeah, I feel you. I feel what you mean, Simone. I feel what you mean, Simone. Like, I don't care nothing. They need to fall off the face of the earth. And it really goes to show you, man, that it's us feeling the way that we feel, man. I mean, we supposed to feel this way. It's not about, hatred or nothing like that, but their own racism has become a tool, and it has been something that is backfiring on them. So racism is killing them. And I'm gonna tell you one thing, we ain't seen nothing yet. Yeah, somebody else is trolling. Get him off. All right, Lisa Marie's. All right, let me see. She's Kimberly. She's Lisa Marie trolling. Yeah, yeah, she's trolling. Can't have her on here. But like I said, man, like I said, like one of the few, I'm gonna say two of my favorite people that talk about this is my girl Lisa Cabrera and also my girl Cynthia G. They talk about what's going on, what's going on as far as like the opioid epidemic and whatnot, and how they're being eradicated and how they are losing their children, how they are losing, themselves, and how so many of them are just dying. But like I keep telling y'all, man, we don't feel shit for these motherfuckers. I don't feel nothing. You shouldn't either. Because when all that shit was going down in our community, what were they saying? Yep, you ain't never lied, Shelly. Yo, they thought that Trump was going to save them, but he don't right, but he don't care at all. Yes, they make failing. Yeah, Miss Red, like Torian Ring says, I feel nothing. Like I said, we are the I feel nothing crew, and I don't feel anything. I don't feel shit for them. They could keep on taking on the opioid epidemic. They could keep on taking on the opioid shit, the ball of heroin. Oh well. Yep. They dug a hole. They dug a hole for us. They have fallen into themselves. You ain't never lie about that, Ferguson Factor 710. They set up a trap and now they fall victim to it. Now they're so fucking scared. Yup, you ain't never lying, Shelly. Yup, he doesn't even want to put any money towards it, so they better not look for the feds to help him. Nope. Yup, Lyndon B. Johnson said it himself. He said if you can convince the poorest white man that he's better than the quote unquote black man, he won't even know that you're picking his pockets. Yup. And look what happened to white society right now. They don't even know their pockets are being picked, but yet these people so worried about us and talk about black on black crime when these motherfuckers are dying from something that they had set up for us. See how that karma comes back? Karma's a motherfucker. Yep, now it's being downgraded from a national emergency. I thought it was a public health crisis though. Talking about these are innocent victims. Fuck no, they not. They ain't innocent. Yup, now the children of opioid epidemic are flooding foster homes. Yup. I ain't feeling sorry for their ass neither. And as I say, man, it is what it is. It is what it is. But yeah, though, family, yeah, I just had to come to y'all with this right here once again. You know what I mean, with this other live stream. I'm definitely you know what I'm saying, I definitely appreciate y'all once again. I'm definitely gonna do something tomorrow because I gotta I'm actually gonna be checking out something that's gonna be very important. Minister Farrakhan is having a live stream tomorrow, and he's actually going to reveal the plans of what Donald Trump is going to be bringing, and he's going to be talking about domestic and foreign policy, and he's going to be talking about something very seriously, and he's going to deliver a message right there to Donald Trump for you feel me. So I'm actually going to be checking it out 10 o'clock in the morning, and I'm definitely going to do a live stream, talking about some of the things I've actually heard and some of the things I feel. You can actually go to like Minister Farrakhan's website and all that, you know what I'm saying, on Facebook, and you can actually like upload it from right then and there because he's actually going to be like revealing something what Donald Trump is going to be doing, and it's something else that's going to be very important. So definitely, family, I want to keep you on the loop. I understand you see crank out more videos in this, but I just been tired, catching up with my rest. But I had to like come together with another live stream and all that. And I believe they're gonna be showing it on Facebook Live. And I know they also gonna be. I'm gonna say you can go to NOI.org, and it's actually going to be on. You can check out Minister Farrakhan page on Facebook. It can lead you right then and there. And I'm definitely going to be giving y'all something, some update up on it. So yeah, man. Yeah, I'm really tired as well, man. I'm just been, a little under the weather. You know what I'm saying? But I'm actually better now. I'm actually better. I just been, I'm gaming. I just been like, a little tired taking the medicine, and it's been, knocking my ass out. As you can see, I'm just tired right now. But I had to like, come to y'all on another live stream. But I'm definitely going to come to y'all with a live stream after that press conference tomorrow, with what he's going to reveal about what Donald Trump is going to be talking about, because what's coming down the pipe is going to be very serious. even more. It's gonna be feeling very serious even more. But if you can't check them out on Facebook, you can check them out on YouTube or whatnot. They're gonna be live streaming it. They're gonna be live streaming the fam. So, like I said, once again, I appreciate y'all coming to this live stream once again, once a night. Yeah, but I'm actually about to check out, man, because I'm tired right now, getting sleepy. But I had to come to y'all with this live stream. Like I said, it's all about freedom, justice, and equality, peace. You know what I mean? Peace, love, and light, family. And like I said, I appreciate y'all once again. And all y'all stay strong, stay wise, keep on studying. And like I said, family, y'all have a good night. And this is B Miles coming to you live once again from the B Miles 84 Conscious Channel. One love once again. Peace. Peace and blessings, family.